John. In the midst tonight is Minister Hayden, Brother Matthew, and we have a full panel tonight. It's the week of Valentine's Day, and we have lovers in the air. We'll be talking about love tonight. In the midst, we have Deacon Sybilis, Evangelist Hayden, Minister McLaughlin, and Evangelist Rita. Matthew, talk about it.
You know what? Since we have such a large group of people here, I was thinking I want to switch it up a little bit. Is that all right?
Go ahead.
All right. So we're going to incorporate 2 topics instead of just one. Yeah. So it's like, I'm gonna give you something simple, and then I'm gonna give you something really deep. It depends on how you want to interpret both. All right. The first is, how do you? My apologies. What do you think is the main reason folks hesitate when it comes to fully committing in a relationship? And then the second topic, just again, it seems simple, but there's a little flavor to it. How do you become friends again after being lovers?
How do you become friends again after what?
Being lovers.
Oh wow. Big topic tonight. Big topic tonight. All right. So, who wants to take it?
Which topic are we starting with?
We can start with anyone. Whichever you feel comfortable with.
You can start at anyone you feel like talking about.
Well, it's not one reason why someone is afraid of commitment. It's several. And it's also a personal decision. I think the top of the list would be vulnerability. You know, the more vulnerable you are, the less likely you are to commit.
And that's coming from past hurt, basically.
Exactly.
Oh, okay. So you have a wall up because you've been hurt before.
Exactly.
So don't you think like you should take the wall down, being the fact that like, unless you want to be lonely for the rest of your life, I think we should take the wall down. Because I mean, sometimes you're gonna meet a man that's gonna try and do everything, but then because you have the wall up, you're kind of blocking them.
But it takes a special kind of man to bring that wall down. Because
when you say special, what do you
What do
mean?
you mean by that?
I'm lost.
okay, God sent, number one.
Okay.
Because if he's sent by God, he will know the right things to do and say that will melt your heart and give you that opportunity to love again.
But don't you think even though you might find somebody to melt your heart, being the fact that you have past hurt, you don't want to kind of like go no further? You don't want to like take it to that level, being the fact that you're afraid to be hurt again?
It depends. Because the real reason sometimes you're afraid of being hurt is because you might see the same characteristics in the person you meet that you saw in the person that hurt you. So if you know riding a bike, for example, you've cut your leg riding a bike. Every time you see a bike or something that looks like a bike, you're going to be afraid.
No, not really.
Why not really?
I think that's just a stumbling
Well,
block.
I'm
That's like an excuse.
I'm going by your interpretation. It's
like you wouldn't be afraid of a bike.
it's like
Well,
You're
maybe
pretty
I
much
didn't
dealing with
choose the right
emotions.
analogy.
You're dealing with emotions. I mean, you're basically like somebody just say you see a dog, you got bit by a dog, and then you see another dog, you might be a little bit timid, like, I don't know what this dog might be thinking.
The thing is, let me say something. We are all different individually. We have different personalities. You know, Dwayne, you might take more risks than others. Some people are completely afraid to take risks,
Exactly.
and if they see that they were hurt doing something, you know, they're gonna be afraid of doing it again.
And some
Fear.
people, because they get hurt, because say if you use that dog example, because they have gotten bitten there, they wanna overcome that.
I would say that's
And that goes back to characteristics.
Yeah, so
if
So
you
pretty much,
everybody look at it different.
so pretty much I say, yeah, take one person fat and a fry next person.
No, not necessarily. Okay.
Everybody look
there
at
is
it
a
different.
strategy
Right.
in dealing with a woman that a lot of men don't know.
Mm.
You might
Can you explain those strategies? for
you
those
might
who
see a
are
woman and the
looking?
woman act tough. She look like she's not approachable.
Mm,
She sometimes is intimidating.
mm,
But some men have to know how to approach a woman. Number one, you have to know the type of woman you're approaching. Some women you can see, and a man can say, for those of you who are Jamaicans watching, hey gal, my girl.
Brownie.
Brownie. Oh God, I hate that one. Red.
Jesus.
You know, so it just depends on your approach. Versus, you see a different type of woman. You know you can't approach her like that. You know you have to say, hey, beautiful. Because it makes a big difference. Right,
don't think
Dwayne?
so. I
No?
don't think so.
the same language, man. And
Because
he
you
was-
have some, you might see like a man that's well dressed, suit up, looking good, and then some woman is just not attracted to the man. To me, every woman have a type,
True, you're right.
and because they have a type, I think they just put up it's just horrible for them to find somebody perfect or find somebody that's gonna love them because you're so like looking at a type of person that you're attracted to, and then that person just probably the person that treats you like crap. When there's somebody else that's not your type, that'll be the person that will love you. So to me, like everyone has a type. They have a type of person that they go after. Whether it be like a thug with dreads, with gold teeth, whatever, clean cut, whatever it is. But everybody have a type that they go after. And to me, like once you're already into something and you already have a type, you're pretty much that's what you're looking for. And it's hard to get you out of that mindset until like you kind of like wake up and say, you know what? Why do I keep going after people? I seen something that said one time like, oh, Lord, why you keep putting this man in my life? He's a headache, he's a problem. And the script said like, okay, the Lord answered and said, I put him in jail. You went and got him. You put him out. I kept him away, but you went back for him. And that's what like a lot of to me like a lot of women do. Like they'll like call their girlfriend and complain about the man, but then they still welcome the man back.
Because
I
that's
think
the
we're all
type
guilty of that.
of not necessarily.
At some
Not
point
me.
in our
Yeah.
lives. We complain, but we still love the man because even though the man have flaws, that doesn't necessarily mean or you like the man,
No
right?
trust. Huh?
Maybe that's the man that they're attracted.
Let me throw a question there too.
all I'm hearing is sex. What
Would
country
Oh Lord.
would you date like say if you know that a person is an ex-con, would you date an ex-con, knowing that he's an ex-con and because basically what the topic is saying is would you trust? I would say trust. If you know that he's an ex-con and you bring him home and you know what I'm saying your kids there and when he at work you be like this man's in my house and he's an ex-con. You know
I'm
what I
not
mean?
gonna bring him home until you kind of trust
Personally,
him. If we get
Only
to know him a
if he
little
was
bit.
washed and sanctified in the blood, because the blood of Jesus washes away anything, whether he's a criminal, whether he's a
Come on now, evangelist.
whether he's
can I
a
have this-
rapist, whether he's a con artist.
All right.
Because I've seen God use people that were less likely to be used. People that were gunmen, prostitutes, those are the people God picks.
I'm with you.
And God used them more so than he's used someone who is a
Persecutors
virgin.
of the church.
Let's just say,
And the persecutors of the church, like Sister Shaynell said.
I'll say it depends on the crime because it's like, I don't know about all that. But
I don't want no murder in my house.
That's
true, hey.
She said certain words. I'm like, I don't know about that. Rapist, pedophile.
Yeah, nah, you ain't coming to my
But that's the thing, you see, that brings us to Christ and the fact that the Bible says there's no condemnation to them which are in Christ Jesus.
We're not judging, but we're not asleep on him though.
The topic though, isn't it who
The topic
you,
just
who
said pretty
your
much
commitment,
why
right?
won't you commit back?
So,
to,
let me
why you
see if I
hesitate
find
on
it.
fully committing?
So
But like,
But
to
I
me-
think hold on, I think if you're into that, if that's the person you want, they just
Nothing can stop you.
yes.
Like for me,
If you don't commit, that mean
exactly.
that mean you just didn't want that person.
That's the realest thing I heard
There's
so
a book
far.
that says he's just not into you.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's just
Like-
not
like
into
for
you.
me,
It wasn't
I
you
could
that
meet
they
you
wanted.
and really like you quickly. And I could meet you and you could spend years chasing after me and I just don't like you.
Yeah,
And it's not because I'm looking for a specific type.
But
It's
I
because
think women, they like to be chased. All right, a woman will like they know you like them. And they say, man, this man like me, my chest me. But
What them
when
do?
you go to somebody else or somebody's interested, them upset, bro. They have feelings like yo, like, no, he was all into me, but now he shifted somewhere else. Something ain't right there.
Not necessarily.
No, I see that.
I've seen that.
I've seen
I've
that.
seen that
I've
multiple
seen that over and
times.
over.
So
Yeah.
many
It depends
times.
because
Yeah.
sometimes you build a friendship. So it's not
Nah, I
because
just
you're
think of the fact that-
into the person for relationship or
Nah, I
commitment,
think that's what it
but
is.
sometimes you miss the friendship.
Well, if you're friends, you can still
not in
hang out.
agreement.
It's
You
just-
should still be friends, but I've seen that
Nah,
before
that's some
where
stuff
Yeah,
right
yeah.
the guy chasing the girl,
And she didn't want it.
and not just one scenario, multiple scenarios, and she like playing hard to get on, go on, and the guy's like, okay, he's tired now, and other women start looking at him and start showing interest, and then she's like, you know.
She didn't
just
see all of
depends,
that.
though. It's an individual.
It depends
decision.
on it
Because
depends.
if you're just not into the person, they could be with Beyonce. You're still just not into, them.
Yeah.
And you can't make yourself.
And if you
feel
see what
something that's not
you
there.
want, then you'll be committed. I know this lady that she told me she was with this guy for about 6 years, and the guy wouldn't marry her.
Wow.
Yes, and the guy was like, I'm not into marriage, I don't feel it. And they broke up. She ended it. And within 3 months, he married
She
somebody
got-
else.
He married
So
somebody
he didn't
else.
want to
Wow.
get married.
He didn't want to
He
marry
didn't want to
her.
commit. Yeah.
That's the
the
thing.
same
He
thing.
didn't
He's
want to
just
marry
not
her.
into her.
But
So
some
that
people-
brings us to
Yeah.
our next, so commitment pretty much is not that you're
You wanna-
afraid of committing, it's because you don't want to commit to
To
this
that
person,
person. Yeah.
right?
When you see that person that you want to commit
You
to,
commit in a
you
day.
commit right away. You commit once, you lay high on them,
And that could be a headache.
Yes, because what if that person don't want to commit to you?
Yeah, but sometimes you'll deal with the headache.
Exactly.
If,
You
that,
don't
if that's the
care.
person you love,
Exactly.
you'll deal with the
Um,
headache.
Here we go again,
Here's the
dealing with
thing.
the headache, man. I don't
You
know.
said so the topic, the first topic that we're speaking on is pretty much the one about commitment, and the reason why for that topic I'm like, it's not that the person is right for you. It's just that you are not in the right headspace for
When you
yourself.
talk about commitment, I think a lot of women, like, once they've been hurt a certain way, they just don't want to, like, they rather just, like, let's be friends, rather than, like, and they might have feelings for you when they're messing with you, but they don't show it, really.
That's what I'm
because
saying,
of
they're
the
not
hurt
in the
that
right-
they had.
And sometimes it
Maybe
takes a
working
while to
themselves.
break open because after, especially women, I don't know how men are, but for me, when you get hurt, you have this wall up. You put up this wall, this barrier that you don't want anybody to penetrate your heart. You don't want it, you're okay with hanging out and talking and being friends and whatever, but unless that person is really persistent, and you, sometimes it's very slow. It's a slow process to put your guard down.
But you have to be careful on that too, because sometimes the woman can send the wrong feelings. Say we're friends and we're hanging out and we doing this. So I'm thinking, okay, you know what? We kind of really getting somewhere now. And I'm like, okay, you know what? We're going to go out again. So I'm thinking, okay, we're together. And then we say, no, we're just friends. That's kind of dangerous right there.
And you know what burns me up sometimes is the fact that, like, men always get the blame for, like, any little thing. It's like, oh,
Had them on them
the
phone.
minute, like, the woman, like, oh, what, I'm done with him. It's like, okay, what did he do?
True.
Why it always got to be the man's fault?
Most
I
of
never-
the time it's the
Most of
man's
the-
fault.
Exactly.
Really?
Yes.
Really, most of the
That's
time
such
it's the
a
man's
biased
fault.
statement.
It is the
But
man's
I also
fault.
believe that's a lot of time men, like
Yeah,
some men don't
track
talk,
record.
but sometimes they showing you signals like, listen, I got issues with this, and this, but y'all, to me, like, women always say, okay, my antennas are up because something is wrong. How come your antennas ain't up when the man is, like, crying out for, like, help? Like, yo, like, certain things you're doing I really don't like, but I just don't want to say nothing to cause a headache or cause a problem, so I'm kind of dealing with it, but I'm struggling while I'm dealing with it. How comes y'all antennas don't go up for that? But the minute the man is, like, talking to somebody or, he's texting or conversating with somebody, oh, now your antennas is up. Like, I never understood that.
Never.
Like, your antennas is up when it's, like, all wrong, but when the man is, like, crying out for the help, like, yo, like, seriously, I love you, but you're doing stuff I really
One
don't like.
reason too is because men usually don't show a lot of emotions.
Exactly.
So we as women we're more
But I think sometimes
interested
men
in
do
guarding
show
our
emotion,
own
but y'all
hearts.
just not paying attention.
They just can't read it.
We're
They
busy
just
guarding
can't
our
read
own
readers.
hearts. That's what
And
it is.
we're not.
Yeah.
Men what?
Exactly.
You all think
guys
we're
don't
mind
communicate.
readers. You don't communicate.
You don't communicate. So that's the biggest
And then we are trying to
Another
guard
one
our
is-
own hearts.
But even when a man
So we're busy
communicate,
looking
I
at
don't
what
think
you
y'all
could be
listen.
So in
doing.
other
No,
words,
we
this is
do.
all about assuming.
It's all about what?
It's all about
Assuming.
assuming.
Well, you can say what it is.
Because it's like you have you think that person is gonna do what you want, and then they thinking that you're gonna do what they want. It's like assuming.
I always
Making the
find
ass
what's
out
what you
of
call
you.
the woman intuition. Like the minute the man is really like stepping out, boy, then that intuition like.
And trust me,
Go
that
up.
intuition is never
And then
wrong.
when the man is sitting there at home, coming home every day, and like showing you affection and kind of like trying to like say like reaching out for help, but he's not talking really. But he's like, just I'm struggling. How come your intuition's not up then? That's what I never understood.
I know this
I never
couple.
get that.
I know a couple years ago. Boyfriend and girlfriends, and she's a dog the man out, dog him out. When you see the man, he just look like he's sleeping outside, dirty. So I'm like, bro, what's
Man,
wrong?
rough.
So we kind of really took him in, take him shopping. So he look good. So some other girls start look for him, no one start getting complimenting on. So his woman at home, she started saying, "Hey, you have a woman out there now, so you start just good now." But that's the thing. Take care of the man.
You married him.
Make him look good. You know what I'm saying?
That's
Don't
how
don't
it
don't
goes. It's
don't.
our job. Because the Bible tells us
Child.
that
It goes both
the
ways.
woman is far above rubies, but the man ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying about man? We're just men of valor. So we're gonna fight. Just like David. David went to go fight. And when he came back, his house was gone. Everybody was gone. So the Lord had to tell David, now listen, go fight some more. So I guess we got to keep fighting.
The man was saying,
Sometimes a woman fix up the man
too.
to and the
For
man
another
think him
person.
so cute and so hot. Now him gone to some other woman. So hello.
I
don't like that.
I could say that's true too, because a lot of women do fix up men. A lot of women do that. I could say that's true, but
I don't like that.
Why you
Tell
don't like
truth.
it?
It's like why should I need you to fix me?
Well, she was pointing me in the right direction. I'm gonna take it down
No,
and go
not
with it.
when we say
You wanna
fix
say
you
fix
up.
you up,
Maybe
yeah.
maybe you wear bell-foot pants. That's not in
And she got
style.
you some straight.
And she got you some straight.
But you married the
Or
man
God
with a
mouth
bell
shoes.
foot pants, so why you try to change him?
No, but time changed.
No, maybe
so,
the man don't know how to
The man
dress
don't know how to
either.
dress.
Not
just
up
gotta-
to the times.
Sometimes they wear their hair a certain
So-
way. You can say, honey, if you wear it this way, you will look better.
So here's the thing, right? You
Yes.
try to fix him, make him dress better. Are you willing to compromise and get into the things that he's willing
Of
to?
course.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right.
Wow.
We're always ready to compromise.
Always.
I believe
Man
that.
is the
I
issue.
believe once a woman like really like love you, they'll do stuff to like pretty much please you. But I think sometimes men like because men don't speak, we don't talk, we have certain issues and like we don't feel like right to just walk up and say boy, cause then we start to feel like we're naggers or we just feel like we're always complaining. And then it's something like that when it's just reaching like a man is just like reaching out for help before he goes to a different level, and then it's like now the problems really start. So I think we need to pay attention to like everything. I mean, females too. Sometimes females reaching out like bro, every day I'm sitting in the house, you gonna take me out? And then, we thinking it like nagging instead of just saying, listen, all right, let's go out. You know what I'm saying?
I want
Perfect
Yeah.
example.
Mm.
I hope they're not watching, but whatever.
I'm not saying
I know that this couple, right?
She just wanna rip.
And the guy dog her out, pays bills, pays son's daycare, buy him car,
Okay.
and he just dog her out, don't take her out nowhere. But the moment she found somebody to only say she looked beautiful that day,
Mm.
chaos,
That's it.
That's it.
chaos.
That's it.
So I said to him, when you had it, you didn't treat it right.
That's true.
But now someone else starting to say one comment, and you start to go crazy. Why?
I watched a clip on Instagram, and it was an old back in the days interview, and the lady was like, the men go out every day, and you lie to like your boss and everything, and she was like, come home and lie to me, instead of bringing all that animosity that you face in the world because you can't say nothing.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
And you can't like let the people out there know like, yo, this is how I feel. She's like, okay, you bring it home, and then you just beating me down. So come home and lie to me, like. And the man that was interviewing was like, no, I can't lie to you. And she was like, yeah.
Yeah, you
utilize
can.
because you're going out there and you're facing all that issue and you're just bringing it home. And I mean, when I watched the interview, I actually watched the whole interview. I was like, yo, that is so right, because a lot of men, they go out into the road and they deal with so much crap out there, and when they come home, the only person they can take it out on is their spouse.
Nah,
And
that's
it's
what
sad to
Jim's
say,
for.
but
That's not fair, though.
it's not fair. It's not fair. But sad to say, it's just facts. That's like true.
So I
You
got
know?
a scenario. All right?
Mm.
It's not personal, but it's a scenario. So there's this couple. The wife was in a it's a boyfriend girlfriend thing, and she was in an abusive relationship before she entered into this new thing. And it's like the new guy is like the perfect everything the person want,
But you
right?
don't want that.
But he's too soft.
Yeah.
The other person was beat her,
Yeah.
hit her, and did all that stuff, and she was finally able to escape that. But because you know how they say,
She got used to it.
yeah, she got used to it, so she felt like she could change him, but she had to leave that situation. Now she's with a new guy, and it's like he's doing everything that is necessary as a good man
Yeah,
for
she
her,
don't like that.
and she's deeming him as soft because of it. He's not.
I seen it actually on divorce court the other day. Like, this lady married this guy, and she like, the guy's too perfect, so she don't want to be with him. And I was like, yo, something's wrong with you. Something serious wrong with you. But I mean, females are just, I was talking to a lot of women, in the past couple weeks, getting ready for this program, and it's just the emotions that you guys go through. It's the emotions that you feel, and sometimes just because the emotions, they act a certain way, they act out at that moment. And that's just how they are. They're emotional beings.
And some of these ladies, they're coming from an abusive relationship, especially with their father used to abuse their mother, and they grow up like that,
Yeah.
and they believe that is okay.
It's
So
normal.
a nice man come along, they don't
They
want
don't know how
that.
to treat
They
them.
He's
say,
not beating her up.
they say, you know what, that's not what they want, but
That's
they
true.
end up going for the guy
I've
that
seen that.
abused them.
Mhm.
They're always
Because
saying, say, if you don't
ladies,
love me, then I'll beat
women,
me.
they like men that are more like their fathers.
Oh, that's crazy.
And if
That's
your
crazy.
father is
That's crazy.
abusive, that's the type of men you're gonna
They
go
gravitate
for.
to.
Yeah.
So I got another thing to throw out there. I was talking to a classmate when I was going to school. He was telling me about how he's in a relationship, but it's like I just can't stay with one person. I'm like, why is that? And he was telling me like, well, I see all my mothers and sisters deal with men, and it's like I just don't want to be that simple.
Wow.
Well, that's his mentality.
And
You
I
know?
knew someone who had like 5 different girlfriends. They all knew about each other, and they were all comfortable with it because he treated each of them good.
If you have the money for
I've
that,
seen
you can.
that.
You got some men out there that will do that.
If you got the
And you
money
have
for
some
that, that's-
ladies
Some
out there
women
that's
that
willing
accepts
to
it.
take
Me
it.
too.
Yes,
Jealous for them,
exactly.
so-
Accept it, but no.
So my
Not
question
everybody.
also, who will be carried on Valentine's Day?
To what?
Who does it carry out on Valentine's Day? Because
carry out?
five girlfriends and
They all see
If
him.
he brave enough, he call all 5.
They all see him. He
Wow.
go by here. You,
All right. So speaking
And you
about
know what?
Valentine's Day,
but they were all.
He's well
You know what,
organized.
when he find that one lady that he really wants,
That's
Yeah,
what
yeah,
I
he'll
yeah.
leave
That's
all
what I
5 of
said. I
them.
but
said
don't
when.
you think
I
like
got
when
it.
a man is like
If that lady's not willing to put up with all of that.
if a man is just like that, he's gonna always be like that. Just like if you meet
No,
a man,
people can change.
I believe that
Yeah, people do
it takes a
change.
special being to change that person,
Yeah.
but people can change.
That's true.
So for Valentine's Day, what are we doing? Are you guys gonna buy men roses? Like y'all feel like we don't like roses and chocolate and stuff?
I'm not worried
just-
about
That's
that.
a woman
I'm not trying to
holiday.
make some money.
Yeah.
It's a woman holiday?
Yes, I do
Why you
believe that.
calling me?
I'm just wondering.
That is so biased, but
That is so biased.
No,
but
let's
you're
hear,
right.
let's
My
hear why you say
husband
that.
spoiled me. Never expect anything. I always get
Question,
showered
does
with
he
gifts.
spoil
So
you
I'm
on a
used
normal
to that.
basis?
Yeah.
We always get the gift, like birthdays
And I
stuff.
wouldn't
we
do
know we go
anything
all
to
out,
change
but
it.
Valentine's is
I don't
Quick
think
question.
My
that's
husband
fair. I
always
think-
wants something.
I got a
I think
question.
the man should get pampered too.
No,
I
my
mean,
husband
Yeah.
is a
No.
pleaser.
Question.
Size.
Question.
Mine
I
is too, but he
expected
wants
anything.
to be pleased too.
That's
Question.
what I'm saying.
50-50.
50.
No, he wants to be pleased at his birthday, but
yeah,
Valentine's Day
birthdays,
he
men.
believes for me.
Yeah, but
And
Valentine's
I'm
Question,
very
though.
happy with that.
Just
Very
Question.
Give
comfortable.
us that one day.
Yes,
Not
that day is
together.
all for
Give us
me.
that
and I
one
share
day.
it.
Bomb bomb. So, question: does he please you on a regular basis?
All the time. That's why I'm with him.
All right.
And I'll never leave him.
You said it already, right?
Wow.
So why is it
That's
that
strong.
this one day that you consider it special, you don't say, you know what, I'm gonna flip the script a little bit and do something for him?
Thank you.
Not.
Listen,
Here's the
we
thing.
do
Here's
it
the-
365
I don't want to hear
days a
about
year.
this because there's no. The only day
The
that's
The
by
gifts
is
that I
your
get,
birthday.
listen,
If
whatever I
it's not
get,
your birthday, I don't want to hear about
let's
it.
take that
That's
back. I
right.
get.
If you only
We
show up
ain't-
on
no, no,
birthdays
no.
and anniversaries, then okay, we'll have to the
Listen,
rest
we
of the
Well,
year.
I'm not
enjoy
married, so
these
I'm
things
not anniversary.
together.
But,
So,
yeah.
woman, give us that one.
No,
Listen,
hear what I just. She just
Listen,
admitted
I
it.
get, but we enjoy it together.
I don't
No
think
way.
that's fair. I don't think
That's some kind
fair.
of.
She pays him back.
I just think that's just abuse, man. You guys are abusing the man, man. That really go
Depends
all
on
out.
how you see it.
I see it as abuse.
Guys-
Like Minister Williams just said, like some women take men for granted. I think y'all taking
Here's
men
the
for granted.
reason why, right? The reason why I say it because there's some men who are terrible gift
Then they
givers.
shelve them.
They're
Yeah, but
them can't. They're just backwards when it comes to that kind of thing. So why I say that you should like at least because it's easier for a man to see and learn. So it's like I'd rather you like show me how it's done at least once a year, once in a blue like every other year or something. You ain't gotta do it often, but at least show me how you want to be loved that day.
Here's
How
the
do you
point.
want to how you want me to present a certain situation to you? Because if not, you're still gonna get socks. You're
But
gonna
listen-
get
But listen,
furniture.
during
Listen.
courtship, I can understand that. Because you want him to
But
understand.
why
it.
you
But
think
if you're
you should
already
stop?
married, why do
Why
you
should
need
you
to?
stop?
Yeah, and if
But if
whatever
you're
is
already
working.
married, though,
Question:
why
why should you stop?
No, what I'm saying, when you're
So if you're
courting the
already
woman, the
married-
woman is you should already know what your woman like. He said some men are terrible gifters, but if you're married, you should know what
There's-
your woman
And
likes.
some
Yeah.
people,
Alright.
and some people don't
That's
like gifts
crazy.
either. Gifts.
Yeah,
If
exactly.
you talk
So-
about the love languages, gifts is not some. Gift giving is not some people's love
I'm not
language
trying to
either.
limit to a gift. I'm talking about event because that day is more of an event than just giving them a gift.
No, depends on what you want. It's not necessarily, yeah.
I'm just saying.
Some
like,
people will be very
I'm
happy
just
with
saying,
a
like,
box of
you know,
chocolate
like, you know,
and some
yeah,
flowers.
and we got
wants to
chocolate
go
for
out.
all three of y'all tonight and a
Oh,
balloon for all
thank
three
you.
of y'all. So
Oh,
you
that's
gonna leave tonight
nice.
with a parting gift. That's
Aw.
how we do. We take
That
care of
is
our ladies
nice.
here at Kingdom Building.
You see, they spoil
You know,
us.
we
and
see-
they-
yeah, we didn't bring that in.
We didn't bring
But I
that.
think, you know, I believe deep down inside that the men should get spoiled sometimes.
We do.
We do.
On the
We ain't gonna
anniversary.
go in that deep. Okay, we ain't gonna keep it shallow. We ain't gonna go that deep. So, thank you, Minister
Excuse
Williams.
me.
We need surprises too.
So another reason why, back to topic. Another reason why people are afraid of commitment is unrealistic expectations. I think that is a top one, right?
Break it down.
Because
I think every day
some
is
man meet a
unrealistic.
woman, for example, some man meet a woman fat, and then they expect the woman to be slim, but you met her that way,
Yeah,
and your
but
expectations.
put on a girl.
Nowadays. Jesus.
Some girls will want to put in. Some guys want.
Oh Lord, that's a big problem
Yeah,
these
that's
days too.
kinda-
You agree?
Because some guys meet the girls looking a
Certain
certain
way,
way, and then
and
when they
then
reach
they-
home and start take off everything, and everything, they're
I seen a
like,
post that
hold
is
up.
so true. Like,
That is
God-
not what I signed
God
up
gave
for.
y'all hair, you cut it off. He gave y'all eyebrows, y'all cut that off. You know, he gives y'all a face,
And
y'all
dry it
make
on.
makeups and all this. So you're like, who are we getting? What's behind that man?
But the thing
We don't
is,
know.
if you meet a woman and she's fat, speaking, and just say, no, babes, let's go lose some weight together.
That's a good way
That's
to
a
put it.
good.
What if
way.
he's skinny?
Okay.
How would that work?
You can still be unhealthy and skinny.
It doesn't matter.
Let's get healthy together. Is a
Yeah,
better term.
yeah.
All right. That sounds good.
Because
I'd be like Ruben Studdard.
but
why
no,
you wanna
If with the
change
fat and this
me?
is not
No,
necessarily the
issue.
health is the
Yeah,
look, right?
The looks.
It's the
Yeah,
looks
the
that
looks.
they're
Yeah.
looking
So
for.
it's unrealistic expectation,
Yeah.
right?
But I think everything nowadays is unrealistic. You don't know what you get. I'm so happy I'm married. It's like not even funny because
You
I
don't know
swear,
if
like-
it's a man or
yeah, you don't know what you get nowadays. So it's kind of rough. But we ain't
Yeah,
touch
in
that
this
topic.
day and
Hey,
age.
good night,
I
Sister
seen them on
Maxine.
my
How are ya?
job. It's like
Right.
they do. look
Sometimes
like
they know we are
kinda-
touched from we are touched.
So
Sometimes you just hear the other half say to us that they appreciate us.
I feel like this is a good time to introduce the second, to just talk about the second topic.
Well, the second topic is kind of rough.
It is, but we have to.
The second topic is how. Hold on. The second topic is basically saying, it's like, how can you be friends after you're lovers?
After being
lovers.
You should be friends.
That one, Gilla. You should be friends.
You should always
Why?
be friends.
It
Else you're not gonna be
depends too.
happy.
Everything.
Depends on the relationship. to
It
me.
depends on
If
how the
was
relationship
rough, then
ended.
this is
Yeah.
rough.
Even if it was a rough relationship, some rough relationships end on a
On a bad note.
normal note.
If it's
Some
on a normal
do.
note, then that's different.
So that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. That some will end on a. You know what? It's like a let's agree to disagree kind of thing. You go your way, I go mine, and we all right. And every now and then you get a call. You're cool, everything all right, but they're moving on. I'm moving on, kind of thing.
I'm sorry, I just saw a comment. I'm like, it was so like, wow.
Well. Derek, even when you're natural, some men don't know what they want.
The one right
Can
below.
elaborate on that. But let's go to this one.
Some women
Some women stop dressing sexy
Hey,
at home for the men. Instead, they just like, Jesus Christ.
David is on fire tonight.
That is the truth, though.
That is very true.
It is true.
Why is that?
Because
though?
once them get the man or
Comfortable.
get the woman, them
Why?
be like saying
We're
them
comfortable.
done.
Before we wouldn't let you, well, I mean, we wouldn't
They
let
come
y'all
over and
see
take
that
the
we're wearing a
wig off
ponytail.
and put it on the dresser.
So when you're dating or when whatever, you keep that ponytail on, you want to look
Bruh,
good. But
you
when
know
why?
what? I think about this. Think about when you're dating. You're dating a woman. Bruh, I swear, like, they get up like an hour before you put on their makeup, bro. When you wake up, you're like, yo. Like, bro, did you sleep?
I feel like that's
Yo, the hair is
personal,
all,
but
the hair is
alright.
all straightened up and everything. You're like, oh, did you sleep last night? Like, I'm just wondering. Like, usually the same way.
But
once you say I do and the ring goes on, boys, everybody
Everything
change.
changed.
Everyone
but
changed. I'm not gonna be like,
but that can
the
cause
the big t-shirts.
Yeah.
but that can cause issues too
Mama
because you know what I'm
Andy's.
saying?
the boxers.
The briefs.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
A
But
friend
they
of
can
mine,
cause issues. You're right.
it caused major issues because that caused one of my friends to leave his girlfriend because he said when they just met she was all nice, push up bra and
The whole
this
works.
and the whole works and when they're moving together it's like boxes and t-shirts and I'm like okay.
But she's comfortable. She
First
don't
of
need
all,
to
comfortable.
impress you anymore.
Find out what this
Wait,
lady
wait,
looks
what?
like before you
I
commit.
disregard that statement completely.
Yes, she don't
I
need to impress
cannot
you
be
anymore.
with you if you're that type of person. Because
But I
it's
think
like,
every day we should want to impress us.
I'm not saying that you can't be comfortable, but at the
Mm.
same time, remember, we are still human.
I don't
We're-
think a
we're
woman
still-
understand like how good it is like when a man come home and like see y'all dressed up and looking like
Yes.
yeah.
That's true.
You're just
But
like, wow.
yeah.
I don't
I'm not
believe-
saying- I'm not saying to do it
that's
every
hard to
day. I'm not saying to do it
Yeah,
every day.
that's high maintenance
Yes,
right
that's
there.
hard to keep
And
up.
I don't believe in listen, I don't believe in
It's not reason. Here's the
paying for it or not. I don't believe that a woman should get up every day and
I never
and
said every
and
day.
look fabulous.
I never said every
And,
day.
oh my God,
I never said
the
every day.
men will get tired of that too.
I
I'm
never said
telling
every day. I
you.
never said every day.
Yes, you
No,
pretty
I
much.
said,
We like
you said
in-
how good it is
the
for
thing-
men to come on once in a blue moon and see their woman dressed up.
I like inconsistency. So it's like I don't want you doing the same thing every day, but at the same time,
Thank you.
if I see that you're not even trying
That's
anymore,
really tired.
that's when for me the relationship is kind of dying because like you need to put in that effort. Yes, I'm not saying every day now, but at least try now. If it not, I'm not saying you have to do the makeup and the hairstyle every day because I find that kind of crazy.
Yeah.
but it's
Once
like,
in a blue moon.
but if
Yeah.
you do like work out just to make sure that you
Yeah, once in a blue moon.
Keep it
your
up.
woman-
Keep
it tight.
Keep it nice
Keep
and
it
tight.
right.
Yeah.
And it's
Tough.
like, it's like
Yeah.
at least it's all right.
Don't just
Whoa.
let yourself go,
And then it's
right?
like knowing that you're reading the Bible
Yeah.
and it kind of helped, but at the same time, I want you to be like
Boy,
the
Minister
kind
Williams.
of side kind of nice still.
Minister
So that's why I
Minister
rather
Williams-
you
Minister
still be
Williams,
doing
you don't
stuff.
want to get in trouble.
That's
So,
really
I'm going to go to
tired.
Sister Maxine. You should be friends first before you become lovers. I agree with that. Then you will always have that friendship. I don't believe in that part.
You know?
Another thing is too, you know,
Once your lovers, I don't think you'd be free.
I
Like
noticed-
it all depends on how the
No,
relationship ended.
your husband can be, or your spouse can be your best friend.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I noticed that you
I
all
think
been
you
on
should
the
be.
women and they're tie head and then putting on makeup and stuff. The men used to open doors for women.
Oh yes,
do that.
oh yes, Shay now.
Okay.
I still do it.
Appreciate it.
Yeah,
You're
say
quiet,
something
Chief.
wrong.
Sometimes.
You're
Say
quiet.
something wrong.
You saved yourself yesterday.
I say myself every day.
You saved yourself this
Speak
today.
up for
I say
yourself, Chief.
myself every day.
You saved
Next
yourself
question.
today.
No.
Something else.
Speak up for yourself, Chief.
Something else.
Like,
Men used to
Protect
open
yourself.
doors.
We still
for
do.
Women.
We still do.
No,
I don't
not
think,
all.
I don't think women
Not all.
appreciate that stuff no more.
Come on.
Of course we do.
There's
I don't
still
think
some
so.
women who
No.
do.
Not
We
only that, you know,
appreciate
there's
all the
some
fine
women that are
things.
trained by their men. Them just stop and the woman is like, okay,
what you mean by
I
that?
guess whatever, you know, we know
Whoa,
each other now,
whoa,
so
whoa,
it's
whoa.
all
About
right.
train.
You're skipping over that.
Somebody
And
said
some
take
women
off,
not getting it, so.
take off the long dresses and the long skirts. You know.
Well, you can't go on with that, whoever you are.
In the
But
whole wide-
question, I can't make you pass
Fire
over
from
that.
Blaze.
Ah,
You
that's funny.
said something very thought provoking. What do you mean
Yes.
by
I'm late. What's the
some
topic?
man trained them on?
I mean, like,
They're not directly, you know, not sit boo boo sit. It's how he treats her and she accepts it, so and she conform to the way he treats her. Instead of saying, no, honey, open my door. This is how we started. This is how we're gonna end. You know.
Yeah, treat me
So-
with
Treat me the
respect.
same way you started when you were chasing after me. You did everything. When I expect, you know, you don't expect this consistent. Just like you don't expect a woman to constantly get up and put on makeup and dress flashy as if you guys going out on a date. Just
never said
because,
constantly.
but it's the same
one
thing
thing,
where. That's what I'm saying.
okay,
Once
guys,
in
so
a
what
while,
else
you know,
do we open the
you
doors?
no,
doors,
that
put
is something.
flowers.
That is something
I don't
where.
believe in the
Hey,
flowers
Chuck.
thing.
Yeah,
The flower
flowers can
thing
get
is
played out
an
sometimes.
individual thing.
I think
Whatever we
I
like.
mean, like, if that's what
Take
you
us
like.
out
Whatever
to
she
dinner,
likes.
whatever
like,
it is
to me,
that
like,
we like.
flowers die. Like, if that's a waste of money, I'd rather buy you
No,
somewhere.
I love
might see you
flowers.
every day.
Some women love
flowers.
Everybody loves.
I
every
love
woman
flowers.
loves
every-
Personally,
I love
If
flowers.
if
I
you
have
buy
my
it
stack
once
of
a
balls.
year
Not
or
every-
never, I'm fine with that.
See,
No,
some
I
women.
love flowers.
I'm not a big flower girl.
I am a flower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She
I'm
don't
a
like
flower
flowers
thing.
like that.
I'm not a big.
I'm
Buy
a
her a
flower
gift,
girl.
she
I'm
good.
a din-
And not only that, you know, the thing about me
Perfume.
personally, which is why
I
it's
love
good
to
to
be
know,
pampered.
it's good to know the individual because personally, I don't like become like water today. I mean, mega like it tomorrow. He has a hard time because I change, I evolve,
weather.
Quickly.
like green lizard. So today I'd love chocolates,
Like a
and
chameleon.
tomorrow I don't want it. You understand? So some people are like that. Some people consistently like the same thing.
Oh God, David, come on, man.
Sorta kinda. I wouldn't use that word. But-
Somebody said some men don't have a clue how to treat a woman.
That's Darren.
Yeah, I think you should actually like.
Siblings
Yeah.
lying.
Yo, it's like,
How?
I learn how to treat
yo,
your
why
find out from your
woman.
brothers,
Yeah,
from
because
your friends, and try to
what
talk
I
to
like
people
doesn't
who-
necessarily mean the other woman likes
Exactly.
that. Yeah.
Tell them, Matthew, you must not live under makeup once in a while.
Yo,
That's
it's
what we
like,
said, once in a blue moon.
yeah, it's like.
Yeah, we're not
I don't-
saying every day.
Just don't kick up.
Just like if we, just like this one day,
You're gonna forget what she looks like.
because most women on this time of the year they want to go to Red Lobster, these big restaurants. You know what I mean? And
You look here, Red Lobster.
we don't mind. I don't mind
Ain't
taking you
lucky I Red
to
Lobster.
you know,
Yeah.
and to me, that's
That's
played out.
Right?
Red Lobster
Let's
is
do
played out.
something new.
Something new, something fresh. Let's go
Yeah.
out to like.
What if the lady
maybe-
likes Red Lobster?
Me, I go all out.
There's
I go
too
to like,
many
you know what?
better
Let's go to San Fran for the day. Have breakfast and come back. How about that? Change it up.
Yeah,
the
but
thing.
it's
I'm-
Yes.
Change it up.
Yeah,
But the
yeah,
thing is, you gotta
some
know
serious
who
things you
you're
think
with.
about me
If you
saying.
know the person that you're with,
Let's
Let's go to
Moody.
San Fran
My
for the
money
day.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. If you know, say, spouse is a
Some of
foodie,
us supposed to
it's
already
like,
be
yo, you know, say you're gonna blow some money in a food. It's like, cause that's their thing. But if they're the type of person who like, yo, let's go out and try different events. You know, say you're gonna spend your money on events. So you gotta figure out what a person is
Well,
like.
you know, there's
Yeah.
things you can do that's fun that doesn't, you don't have to spend any money. Like for me,
Exactly.
I like to go on the beach at nights and walk.
Also, I'm afraid that's something
Barefoot.
dropping away now.
Usher.
I'm
You
a
like
beach
that?
girl.
Yes.
Except for when it's cold. If it's cold, I'm not doing it. But
I'll go
yeah.
to the park.
Me
Yeah.
too. The
Please,
park,
that is so
that doesn't
important.
cost
Say that
anything.
again.
That does not cost
Not
anything.
everything that a man have to do have just simply care.
Yes.
But say it again, please. That's someone always feel that they
I'm
spend
telling
our
you,
money.
sister.
Exactly.
sometimes my husband will just bring me a Snicker bar. It costs just $1.
But the thought
But I
of
like,
it.
yeah, and he'll
How
just
long is
bring
it-
me a
How long you been married?
16 years.
All right, that's reason. All right, continue.
You
It's
sure
like,
about that?
What?
You beat me?
Oh, yeah.
Of course.
it's,
Catch up.
it's like one thing I learned about like some
you
Asian
gonna
people.
catch
It's
up?
like it's not
It's a joke, man.
when they're
It's a
with
joke.
each other for a while. It's not about the extraordinary things that you do for each other.
Simple things.
The simple things.
Yeah.
Now, when you start,
It's a lot, bro. It's hard work.
it's like you're putting in more work, but it's,
Listen, when you're interviewing
Exactly.
for a job, you know, you wear the best suit.
Exactly.
You fix up your grammar perfectly. Your resume is on point, and you're doing extra. So it's the same
really.
thing.
But I think
Trust
when you
me,
get
if
the-
you
when
really
when
want
you
that
apply
job,
for
you're
the-
gonna do
When you
it.
apply for the position, you get it. You want to maintain it. So I mean, you should.
Yeah, but how many people maintain exactly what's on their resume and exactly how? And
But can I tell you
don't
that you
always do
can
that.
improve and
Yeah,
get a
you can.
promotion?
yeah, you can
Hello.
improve, but it's at the same time.
And you can
My
lose your
promotion
job
too.
too.
And you can be
You
fired.
can be fired.
Very true. Very
And
true.
make sure I say,
Picnic on the beach, Rita.
I really
That's
appreciate
my
Not at
kind of
nighttime.
No,
You might no
nighttime.
picnic at night. You might be eating sand out there.
Or turtles, no, sir.
No, I like to go on the
Baby
sand.
turtles.
What you mean? You can't see at nighttime. The beach, the beach dark, you know,
You
brother.
hear what I said? But you said eating sand. So
She said picnic on the beach.
You know what else I've done, which I know men like and appreciate? For example, on a Sunday, he's at work, or say Saturday. You pack his dinner.
Oi.
You pack your dinner.
God.
I felt the Holy Ghost right there.
And you, no, for real.
better give me
And
a
bring it
chocolate
to him.
You would be surprised. You go to his job and you know the time and you're like, honey, I'm outside. And you guys sit there and have lunch. That's magical too.
That's
You know
cute.
what? I'll take my husband out to lunch. Nothing to
Try
do.
that. Bring the food, like the thing, and
No, I'm
see.
cooking every day.
That's a shouting moment
But
right
I'm-
there.
And
I
sometimes
take
it one little something you do good, and why you do it every day.
That's not true.
I spoil.
Of course. Sometimes one spoil too.
No.
Sometimes one get spoiled.
Now you
Are
get
you,
stuck
no, are
cooking.
you do you do it 2 times and then the third
So
one,
what?
oh, you stop.
Exactly. You slack off.
I wouldn't say slacking off, but I wouldn't say it's something that you would expect you to do every day. But I think that's just an awesome thought, just to get lunch at work, or to get taken to lunch. Wow.
Hint, hint.
And then
David
no
said
for
too
we
much
usually go, no
responsibility.
for we usually go pick up our spouse and carry them go to lunch, you know.
Yeah, I do
Oh,
that.
dear.
I think it's a I think it's a
Don't expect it,
50-50.
Don't expect it every day.
Yeah, I think it's a
though. That's right,
50-50.
Julia?
We're supposed to be a 50-50, you know what I'm saying?
Yo, David, stop.
No,
man.
I
Get
think
yourself
it's
in
supposed
trouble,
to be
man.
70-30.
You have no time for the man.
Lord Jesus.
David, stop, brother. I get that trouble.
Where's the prophetess?
No. Somebody tag the prophetess, please.
I think prophetess need to come online.
Oh my gosh.
But
But I do believe in that, man. I believe, like, men, put out a lot. We do a lot, I think the woman should also, see what we do and, kind of like pamper us every now and again.
I
I'm not
believe
saying-
that.
I'm not saying to do it
Get to
every
them.
day.
Do.
When I feel like it,
You know
It's
that
not you. Don't
carnality
take it
isn't
personal,
all-
sweetie. He's
all
talking to millions
everything,
of
right?
people
a
out
lot
there.
of folks. It's very good when you can surprise your partner sometimes and it goes both ways. I agree with that.
50-50.
Start slowly.
Adelia.
Let them hear it.
David.
Maxine said,
Maxine is doing anything spoiled,
Anything
that's good.
spoil not good. Good one, Sister Maxine.
good one.
Good one.
Thing.
That's a good one. Anything
What means
spoil not
spoil?
good, but if you spoil a human being, we stay good.
exactly.
It don't give us any Roman eyes and Roman spirits, no room.
Fed well.
Sleeping in the doghouse. Oh my God, no. And I think Apostle need to call Deacon David. I have a private conversation. I think he's going through something right now.
Usher,
We need to pray. We need to lay hands.
But I think both parties should spoil each other, but I'm not saying it's something where they're not gonna expect it like every day.
Every day.
Because
but
You know,
once
like once
in
in
a
a
while.
while, once in a blue moon. I agree with that 100%.
I remember
Once
you
in a
sent me a post
even-
like earlier this
I
week,
sent you a lot of posts, bro.
but
I want
there's
you
a
to study.
specific one.
I want you to study.
It's a specific one.
Oh,
that,
I think I know which one.
exactly.
Wow, let me pull
He's
it up.
like,
Yeah.
sex is a plus. It's not
He
the
never said
main
it's a
thing.
plus.
He did.
He said it's a plus, or
He said it was a plus. In a relationship, it's all about the stimulation of the mind. So
Oh,
I'm
I saw that.
So I make sure to memorize the thing because it was nice. So that's how I view like relationship. It's like, yeah, I don't.
Yes, I think it can,
Right.
but it has to be built on communication. And so what you realize and what I've come to learn is that sex in a relationship is a plus, not a priority. And when we understand that the largest sexual organ is the mind, and you focus on making love to the mind instead of making love to the body, that is when sex loses its power and real love flourishes. And
That's
why
deep.
that sex is a plus.
That's facts.
That's very
so,
deep.
So
And then you know I noticed. I remember what's that actor name? The one that funny, the big thick guy.
That Spanish guy.
No man, the black guy. He acts like
Steve
really
Harvey?
not Steve Harvey. I'm coming out on White Chicks.
oh,
Cause
Terry
he's
Crews.
married. He's married, and I told you.
Terry Crews.
Oh,
said-
Terry Crews. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He's married, and he said that he fasted. Him and his wife fasted one time for 3 months, and he said their relationship got so much better after that. And the fact that they missed each other, and it was just like, you know, they talked, they opened up, they spoke about a lot of stuff over that 3 months, which they never spoke about before.
That's what the Jewish people say
I
too,
remember
because
that.
they're not together for I think 2 weeks out of the month,
Okay.
every month, yeah.
Wow, I never knew that.
And they say their relationship grows stronger
Yeah.
when they're not together.
I remember
like
I was
that.
watching this show, kind of loosely based
Well,
off.
you get that
It's
baby.
called My Wife and Kids.
My wife and kids.
Yeah,
still
it's
love
like
that.
with
Mhm.
Wayne siblings and stuff. I remember there's this one episode where they like trying to do marriage counseling because they want to work on their relationship, and he was like the marriage counselor like, yeah, we want a typhoon. It's like, when you buy typhoon, it's like all we want to do is like, you guys are not touching, you guys are not doing, but you're having conversations, eye to eye contact, breathing in and out, whatever. But it's like within that time frame, they were able to get so close that when they waited like 3 months or something like that. But when it was that time, it was like a tsunami or a typhoon. It was spectacular for them. So it's like, I guess that's what you mean by
Yeah.
what you meant.
That's what I meant. But I think I personally believe like a lot of, you know, marriage couple, you know, or people that's dating or courting or whatever it is, you know, should, you know, take the time out and have conversations. So I think a lot of us don't have conversation when we first meet, you know, and then like you go into a relationship and like the first few years are just so rocky, so rough, because you don't know that person don't know you. And you know, it's just like a ship, man. It's just going up and down the waves until you just want to just punch a hole and just sink the ship. You know,
Listen.
when you sit back, you know, and actually speak to the person, you know, and get to know them, I think that makes a big difference. And even if you're married or in a serious relationship, you still should be, I think, having conversation, because you never know, man. You never know what you're missing. You know, you never know what you're doing that person just don't like, but they're just tolerating it.
Here's the thing.
True.
Totally agree.
Here's the thing, because
And some of these people don't even know how their other partner looks. Believe me, when they take off the eyelash and the eyebrow and the hair and all of that, they never seen them without all of that. So
Or the personality.
yeah.
When I was in the
you
world,
should- every day you should try to learn more and more about that person, not just at the beginning.
when I was in the
Continue to
world, you
learn
know,
more.
and I was dating this one guy, and for months and months, every time the guys see me, I have my makeup on, I'm well dressed and cute. It was never a time where it was laid back and you know, no makeup
Dressed
and
down.
just dressed
So
down
high
and
maintenance, kind of.
still don't probably have no clue what I look like for real. Always had on makeup.
the thing is, I read something about Will Smith and Jada, because people always saying about people in Hollywood, how their marriage work, and they say something where it kind of really get my mind like, okay, really? They're saying how they make their marriage work is they're swingers.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
I
that's
think
a
I
different
remember
kind.
hearing
That's
something
also
like that.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's their thing.
I heard something like that.
But they said that their marriage to each other gets stronger. Their bond is way
I
stronger.
know that wouldn't work for you.
It wouldn't work.
Jada
Crazy.
probably saw him with that other
Swingers.
woman and knock him over the head, and they was like, okay, never mind.
But you know that I watched the thing with Will Smith and Jada also where, you know, they were like around a bunch of people and she like cursed at him. And he just took like I guess he had like a paper and he just like bumped in the head and was like, yo, next room. And he's like, listen. He's like, listen, I grew up in a house where my father beat my mother and I do not want no relationship like that. So we're going to speak to each other with respect. And, you know, we're going to speak to each other like human
yeah, I
beings.
remember that.
You know, you're not going to just talk to me anyway. But
Or
y'all
is
know
this
Jada
not
was
gonna
like a rough chick.
Fiery.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Jada don't care what she say. But, you know, I personally believe, like, listen, man, just get to know your get to know your spouse. You know, because you might think you know them, but you're missing a lot. And a lot of us been on this earth for 30 plus years, 20 plus years, or whatever it is, and we don't even know ourselves.
True.
And sometimes you might do something, and we're like, yo, man, I really like that. Never knew that you ever would like that or would enjoy that. But guess what? You like it.
Here's the thing about these long distance relationship. No, the long term relationship, like
I don't
the
think you're
16
gonna have
plus and the 15 plus. I'm not calling them names, but they know themselves, right?
15 plus.
16 plus.
15, almost 15.
This one is actually like 20.
So it's like
It's really not 15
So-
or 16. It's
Hey,
just the
I'm
marriage.
just saying,
The marriage was 16.
and then it's like go on further. So what I'm trying to say is that for those relationships, even though you know them that long, you're assuming if you think you know your partner,
That's what I'm
because it's
saying.
like
You learn them every
it's
day.
like so it's like if you say you start to feel comfortable, it means that you're giving up on learning who your partner is.
No,
That's
you
true.
learn every day.
Yeah, you learn every
Every day.
day.
If you get comfortable, if you get in a comfort
If
zone,
you
you
get
start
And I
in a
believe
learning.
you
It's
work.
like-
You do work on your relationship also every day. You don't just relax.
I think you
What-
should.
what-
Some
what-
people
what
just
he's
don't.
saying is
Like
if
you
you're
say,
comfortable,
yeah, you get comfortable.
How would you learn?
Yep.
You get laid back and
You
you're
could get laying back and just make
stuck in
everything
your ways,
fall
yeah.
and okay, you know
No,
what?
no,
Whatever.
not because you're comfortable. Mean that you don't learn, or that mean you don't
not
try to-
you personally. Sweet.
Yeah.
Just in general. And I
No.
strongly, I know I'm going to be yelled at for this, but I don't believe in that going to bed upset either.
That's true. That's a good
I
one.
believe in resolving the issue before you go to sleep.
Even
Anybody-
if you have a
let
little
the church
tinge of
say amen.
Amen. But I think the discussion should be.
Yeah,
you should have
come
some
to
kind of
some
discussion.
agreement. And I don't believe in that sleeping on the couch or
Doghouse
the
business,
doghouse
like-
business either.
You know
Buy one next building.
that being
actually,
that
Yo, David gonna get
Yo,
David gonna
some
get in
of
trouble,
them,
bro.
yo, some of the savagery, you know. Well, it's nice. It's nice.
Married people, David said, this is just a conversation. Wise up. Married couples, stop taking each other for granted.
out the
I
door.
like that.
Wow. Like, how you? Never mind.
Sometimes when you that same laid back mentality and getting comfortable that Matthew spoke about is what, because I believe that certain you'll never fully know a person. It doesn't matter how long you've been with them. It just take a certain situation to show up for something in them to come out. So maybe you live for 20, 30 years and certain situation just never came up.
Right.
And that way that he had deep down or she had deep down
Finally
to
showed
attack
the way.
her or whatever, however to treat you or whatever, that finally raised its ugly head. And you're like, oh my God, where did that come from? But it's always been there. He's always been that person or she's always been that person. But the situation just never arose. So, it's
And
the
this is-
laid back thing too have a lot to do with bringing out some things in other people. Because if I'm expecting us to learn every day, learn each other and, grow and evolve and grow together, then you're the one that's just taking it easy. You're stuck in your ways. This is how you are, and you're not moving from here. You're not willing to compromise. You're not willing to do anything. You think you know me, and that's it. And then, because of that, I want to know you. I want to learn more about you and move on and, grow. And it's like a tug of war. It's like you're beating a dead horse. You're not moving. You're not trying to do anything different. And that will bring out some other things in me.
So I got this question. It just popped in my head. I was curious. You said you just while talking. I'm curious. Do you say switching up the style of how you operate within a relationship is good? Like for instance, if you were the affectionate type, sometimes you mix it up in order for conversation
I
to flow
believe.
nice. You switch it up. Sometimes give them tough love. Sometimes give them a more gentle approach. Sometimes doing other things. Do you think
When
that
it's
helps?
necessary, but not to just get up and give tough love just because.
it
Because some
depends.
people
Not
could be a
just
pain in the
because,
butt
but it's
because.
like-
Yeah.
It depends
Just
on what
incorporate
works with that
With that
person,
person.
too, because you're with that person
So you know
and you
them.
get to learn what works with them. So you realize that when you do this, he'll change. When you do that, he'll just get stuck in his ways, and
Or
that
she.
doesn't work. Yeah.
Well,
I think I all got a question
It
for you,
depends
Sister
on-
Rita. She said, we're not all perfect, so not going to bed every night upset is not going to happen, even though it shouldn't.
It can happen. You
Well,
can
that's-
purpose.
I believe
You
it
could
can.
purpose.
Yeah.
You'd
Yeah.
have.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
purpose thing, you know.
Yes.
It's not just gonna happen magically. It's a purpose thing. You make up your mind,
And it's,
and it's both
Yeah.
ways, obviously. Because if he doesn't want to talk and he's upset and he's insists that he's going to bed, then hello, you can't help it. But you, as the individual who stand by that principle,
And sometimes you feel better because when you're not talking, sometimes you're tossing and turning.
oh God,
'cause you-
tormented.
You're
Yeah.
tormented.
I had a lady told me the other day, we were talking, and she was like, my husband came on one morning, 2 a.m. Then an issue happened. Then he went back out to go get his friend, or his friend was stuck somewhere. He's like, you know what, I'm going to go somewhere just to clear off his head. Never came back home. Cops came knocking on their door at 6 a.m.
Wow.
Helping his friend, and they hit the car. And when they hit the car, he ended up passing away. So, like even before your spouse hit the door, if you have an argument or something, you should. Cause now she has to live with that for the rest of her life,
Yeah, that's sad.
and that's tough.
Yeah, you don't
Yeah.
want to end
Yeah.
like that.
Well,
Praise the Lord, Apostle
coming close to
Griffin.
that time, Chief.
Oh my God, David, really?
Exactly.
You know that the man like porridge learn different kind of porridge.
Red
David,
velvet
I
cake.
always want
David
to
like
believe
Makameda.
that it takes a lifetime to know the person. Don't care how much you believe that you know them, you don't know there is
Something.
Always something hidden.
That's true. I believe that. God bless you. Praise the Lord. Apostle Griffin,
And
David Williamson, keeping it real. Sister Maxine, in a relationship, you have to be you. Don't pretend to be someone else. The real you will come out soon, or sooner or later, and that's the big problem. I agree with that.
If you hide,
It's
she's
not
saying
every
if you hide it.
situation going to be resolved in one. It all depends on you. If you want it to be resolved, it will be resolved. You want to sit there and let it keep festering, it's gonna keep festering. It's like a cut.
It might, no, she's right. It might not completely resolve within the night, but we're going to agree to disagree tonight, and we're going to kiss and go to bed. And tomorrow we take it up again. We're not going to sit down and argue all night. You know what I mean?
for the
We're going to
relationship,
sit there and argue all night.
So,
Exactly.
you have
Again,
to
it's
be a
give and
good
take.
forgiver. You have to be able to forgive.
But I like to discuss. I want to get it
You have to
all
forgive, but you have
out.
to forgive.
I can't forget.
And then move on from there. But for me to just cut it off and say okay, and just decide to leave it there and move on, it's gonna be sitting on my head all day, all night, all month, all year.
Can't sleep.
That's how I am. I'll hold it up.
Like
And
me.
it's here. We're going to talk about it.
Girl, we're
get
real
it over
sisters.
Some people just stuck in their ways and
Yeah,
don't decide
we have to
change.
talk about
I
it.
agree
Next
with
topic.
you.
That are true.
True, but don't point fingers.
Lastly.
Amen, amen, amen. Great comments,
David
great
again.
questions. Minister Williams, you on fire, boy. I swear you're gonna be in trouble.
David want some porridge. David want some new porridge.
David want some cornbread porridge
What
and
did
oat
Derek say?
porridge and
Peanut
plant
porridge.
and all that. Something.
I've heard of it.
If
Never
you start
tasted
what's
it.
up YouTube.
YouTube it. YouTube it.
Sister Paulette,
Please answer
YouTube.
this for me. Answer
all
what?
right, bring up the question, Chief.
That's
As
the
long as we
question.
stick
Hurry
to the
up.
topic.
We're about to clear out of here. So
As long as we stick to the topic, I definitely try to
And
answer.
don't forget to like, don't forget to share this program. Don't forget to jump on over to Just a Conversation on YouTube and subscribe. Amen, amen, amen. Like I was saying earlier, you know, and the one thing I really believe in is that, you know, we should, you know, in all things, in everything, you know, I mean, get to know your spouse, get to talk to your spouse. You know, if you're dating someone, you know, learn to know everything about them before you actually, you know, get like fully committed in a relationship. And, you know, that would save you some headaches and save you some problems. Because some problems that you're gonna fall into, you know, because you don't know the person, it might haunt you for the rest of your life. You know, and some people might just forget stuff and just forgive. You know what I mean? Some people don't, you know, so save yourself the hurt. You know, speak, talk, you know, find out what your spouse is saying, what they're thinking, and get to know them.
And if things not working out, guys, talk to God about it.
Exactly.
He can fix all
Anything.
situations. Yes.
God.
And sometimes we think that it's our spouse, and you know, we pray against the spirit. Sometimes.
David, I have a question. It says,
Yeah.
if your spouse say to you that I am saying I am sorry because I want to keep the peace, they just want to keep the peace.
What is that saying?
I'm sorry.
Just saying they're sorry. They don't want to argue.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it.
But sometimes, they must say, I'm sorry, they must have to shut up on this.
Exactly. They just
You know?
want to keep moving on.
Yeah.
They don't want to deal with it.
So
And
based
some
off
people
what
are not
you
willing
said,
to
I got-
accept that kind of
Because
apology.
them
Some
say
people
it's
ain't gonna
sincere.
accept that.
Exactly. So based off that question that he gave, I got another question. So I feel like there's some people who, instead of dealing with the situation head on, they tend to run from it. In sense, they say, "Oh, I'm sorry," thinking that, or they just try to switch the subject. How do you deal with that before it turns to a point where you say that this is it? I don't want to have no relationship with you no more.
Say they don't want the relationship no
Yeah,
more.
it's like before it reaches that point, because you know how some folks, they try to avoid the situation, they try to find different ways.
If
instead
there's a
of dealing with it.
situation and the person, like, you're gonna have somebody that's just don't want to just deal with the confrontation, so they might take the back seat and they might say, you know what, my apologies, I'm sorry, just to move on, just to keep the peace.
But it's like, instead of actually, the thing is that person is not voicing their true feelings. So you're more running from the situation. You're trying to find an easy way out. Now I'm saying, how do you fix that situation before it reaches to a point where you say, you know what, I'm done with this. We're not, yes, some people like the argument because you're butting heads, you're sharing opinions. But when that other person is not sharing, they're just saying, all right,
Go
I
ahead and
accept
answer
it.
that, Sister Judah.
Yeah, but what if the person is truly sorry?
What if there isn't?
You're saying that
I remember there's this
If-
one saying
if
that
it's something that they say they are sorry about and then they go back and do it again, then you know that there, and then you can confront them with that issue. So you know what, you did this, I didn't like it. You say you're sorry. You say you were wrong, and you still go back and do it again.
But the
Depends on what
Bible
it
said-
is.
But here's the thing,
The
I got
Bible
this elder.
said, forgive 7 times 7.
And when you said that, I just remember how we are as children of God, where we say, Lord, forgive me, we keep doing the same thing. We do it
Every day.
again and we do it again,
Yeah.
And
And
sometimes people do things and they say they are sorry and they are truly sorry.
and even though they do it again, they were sorry when
I
they
remember
said
this
it.
elder one at the church I used to go to.
And
he
sometimes
told
telling
us-
people also how it hurts you or how it affects you. Because sometimes they don't know that it affects you how it does.
That's important, I think.
Somebody
So
said, how long
instead-
should you court before marriage?
Next to Julia.
Well,
That's
as long as you feel
I can't answer
I'm
that
gonna leave that
question.
alone
It
at
depends.
that.
Every
It's like,
page is
Up
on.
as
to
long
your
as,
apo-
because I had a
pastor.
friend, they took a year and a half, another 12 years, but they
Some
still, but they still made
churches
it
you
work.
can't you have to court for no longer than 6 months
Then can go on
and
with
then
that.
get
Then
married.
you can
Exactly. No, I'm telling you, there are churches
no
out there.
longer?
Pentecostal churches, I believe,
because
6
Yeah,
months
they
is
get
it.
6
the
months.
temptation is too high.
Yeah, that's horrible.
Okay, all right.
Can't put a time on
No,
that.
I don't think the church
So
should.
you know what? That's
To
leading
me,
another question
courting
I
is
wanna
like
touch
you
on yet, but-
it's like you sentence me to eternal whatever.
Keep your
Whoever
hormones in
he is.
check.
What if I find out during the courting that it not work out? Or me need a little bit more time? Well, I mean, you're gonna make me run into something
Yeah,
that I'm not sure
I don't think
about.
they should
No.
put a time
I don't
limit.
think they should put a time limit on it.
And I've seen a lot of marriages messed up in church because of that kind of stuff. In
That's
church.
where we're running from. That's where we're running from.
You don't know enough
about
So
the
say, you know
person.
what, I will live with that. And that me can't live with, but we'll see how it
I
works.
take it from people that's been married. Like, if you listen to people that's been married, you know what I mean, and they're trying to, like, tell you something, you know, listen to what they're saying. Don't just get that big head and
It
think
depends
you know
on
everything.
the person who's married. Cause if we say look,
It don't matter. It depends. You could get knowledge from even the people that's failing in marriage. You could get knowledge from that. So it all depends on what you want to take it to. Because, and sometimes like the first 5 years of your marriage could be horrible.
This is the first two.
Oh,
Always
trust
the
me.
worst
This is the first
part,
two.
yes.
Yeah,
Trust.
because
The
and
first
if you
4
had
years.
got like you know somebody was telling you stuff and you were listening, then you'd understand. Like, you know what? Instead of getting like this, let me get to know the person. We get to know each other. You spend more time talking, more time doing stuff. You know, I mean, like the first 3 or 4 years of my marriage, I was like never home. I was always with my boys, and if somebody just said, "Listen, man, you need to go home." You understand what I'm saying? Like those are advices you need. You know, you're newly married. You know what I mean? So it's just anything, bro. Even if somebody's failing, you can learn from it.
But nowadays you have these young people. They rush into marriage quick, and like
And they rush in marriage 'cause they
6
wanna do
months,
stuff.
What do you
a
consider
year.
young?
Young, I mean like young, like 19, 20.
Okay.
Young, and they rush into marriage, and it doesn't. Like a year, 6 months, it fails. You know what I mean? Because they don't get the time to know each other. They
gotta
just
know
see
each other,
you,
man. You gotta
love
know
you,
your
and
spouse.
because
You gotta know your
they're just living
significant
in the
other.
hype, pretty much. You know what I'm saying?
And then there are people that can see each other and just be attracted, and within 2 months they get married, and they're still okay after years and years. It depends on how the two
Depends. The
individuals.
chemistry.
Communication is
Because no
important.
marriage is perfect.
Compromising is
No marriage is
important.
perfect. No marriage is perfect.
It's
It's
never
like-
gonna be
it's like,
perfect.
It's like the common said, and it's a lifetime. You take a lifetime to know a person.
Exactly.
You have to be working on it
Why you
every
pen-
day.
Why you pen leaking on me? Seriously? You can take a lifetime to know that person, and you still, you know what I mean?
Right.
Up until that person passed away, you don't know the full 100 about them. So,
Never know them.
you know, this is Valentine's Day week. You know, let's take care of the men.
Pay for dinners. Pay for some dinners.
This is Valentine's Day week, so you know we're just talking about pretty much love and pretty much how to be
Relationship.
successful in your love. I mean, in your relationship, in your love. Be successful in your relationship. You know, we have different, married up here, single up here. You know, so we had different views tonight. You know, don't forget to share the program. Don't forget to go over to YouTube, Just a Conversation, subscribe. Final thoughts, Deacon Sibless.
My final thoughts is sometimes the women need to take the men's feelings really into consideration. Because sometimes we go through a lot too, and sometimes we just want to come home and just get pampered.
What? You can't go on with that. But,
Then say so.
Exactly.
What do you mean you can't go with that? I agree with that.
What do you mean?
what you say?
Bro, sometimes you got
I
some
knew
other
it.
times
You
at
know
work,
the
you just
thing
wanna
I
be
got
like,
about
I'm a person who like I
That's
need my
you.
space.
What did you
But
say?
that's what I'm saying. It's like not everybody want to get pampered because that sometimes it feel like too much.
Which one
So
like
that's why-
pamper?
You want to get pampered. Sometimes I got some days
You
where I
have a
just
bad day, come home and
Exactly.
pamper your wife.
And talk to
That
your
too.
exactly.
50
Good one.
Exactly.
Yeah, come on,
Good one,
pamper your
Jimmy.
I have
wife.
a bad day, I must come on pump.
Yes.
Next,
Will make you
Evangelist
feel
Hayden.
better.
Next, Evangelist Hayden. We're going to skip.
Lord
we're gonna
have
skip minutes to the
mercy.
clock.
All right. I just want to say that just certain things that are very important to our relationship that I had to learn for myself is that communication is the key. I know everybody is not good at talking, but sometimes communication, a big part of communication is listening.
Hey.
So make sure communication, listening, and voicing your opinion in love is very important, as well as compromise. Know that everything is not gonna go your way all the time. Certain things you have to learn to just compromise today. Compromise. Just say, take a back seat and say, all right, we work with this today. If it's not gonna kill you, it's only gonna make you stronger in your relationship. And put God first.
Amen.
Pray about it, ladies. Pray about it. Don't go gossiping to your girlfriends. Pray about
Nice
it.
topic, but we're
Yeah,
gonna
that's
talk
what I
on
was
that
gonna
another
say.
time.
Go.
Put God first
What
in
kind
the
of space you
relationship.
need when you're married?
Those that pray
said such a
together
foolish
stay together.
Those that pray together?
A couple that prays together stays together. Yes.
Okay.
My final thought is forgive. Things are gonna happen.
Don't forget.
Your spouse is gonna get on your nerves.
But
They're
you
gonna
don't
say
forget.
things to hurt you. They're gonna do things to hurt you.
I don't think that's done
But
purposely.
you have to learn to forgive. And instead of fighting with your spouse,
Take a time out.
fight it on your knees. You're not always dealing with your spouse, you're dealing with the spirit that has come in. So fight your battles on your knees
That's right.
and
In
put
prayer,
your spouse
in prayer.
before God.
You gotta make sure
Comment on that
say
part,
that
but
part.
yes,
but
I agree with that.
God
Fight your battles
before.
Oh
on your
my
knees.
God.
in prayer,
Pray.
in prayer.
No, don't forget to push. Pray until something happens. Women, y'all know how to push. Kenan McKee say, I have a bad day and I must come home and pamper my wife. I feel the
Of
same
course.
way.
Yes.
What
It
are
will
you
make
thinking?
you feel better.
Bring to the relationship what it is that you're looking for.
Exactly.
That's how this works.
That's
You
a,
can't
Bring
try-
to the
that's- is
relationship.
it-
We bring to the relationship what we're looking for. We still don't get it. Anyways, it's been real.
And
It's
believe,
been an awesome
listen,
night.
what you believe also is what manifests. So believe that it's gonna
I
happen.
believe a lot of it ain't
Believe-
manifesting yet.
believe
So
that
You have
it's
to just
gonna
be
work out.
consistent.
No,
Yes.
but
let me answer
See
her
yourself
question
having a
real quick. So
wonderful
how was it?
relationship.
We had a hard day at work.
we must come home and pamper
You home all day.
Yeah.
Are we supposed to come and pamper you?
Yes,
Now, so
and
you-
you both will enjoy
Exactly.
whatever you
No, sir.
whatever you're doing.
Sorry
Yes.
with that one.
we're
Yeah.
gonna make
No,
sure
what she
your
trying to
dinner
push
is
is
ready, right,
foreplay.
Julia?
Mhm.
Your
You
dinner
might get
is
a
ready.
special
Angry,
gift
but
after
yes,
the
yes, gotta push
pampering.
that.
Listen.
But
Exactly.
that's all I'm hearing. But let's continue.
Never
Right.
had that before.
I just think that's one sided. I just think that's being biased. Like if technically, like a lot of men call it.
Bias.
Oh, you said that? Amen.
Bias.
So technically, a lot of men when they're coming home and they're rough,
Oh
they
my
say, boy,
God.
It was some rough day at work today, man, and boy, sometimes we can't deal. And y'all hear the man pouring out his heart on the phone. This man walk in the house, it's like nothing. Y'all don't greet him with a hug. You don't say come here.
Because you're too
So
comfortable.
We just too
So you-
busy.
so you-
Yeah, you come on and hug.
Yeah, come home and just wrap
No,
your
sir.
hands around the woman.
We done already
and just
established
bring
that
and
on the
say-
phone.
and say-
She said-
We
she
already
said-
established on the
She
phone.
said,
Hey, baby,
say
you got
what
a
you
rough
want,
day.
and you tell them that, listen, I had a rough day at home, so, when I come home, when I feel some
Yeah,
loving,
and-
like, greet me, let me, but you
And
gonna tell me I
listen.
should come home and pamper you?
Yes, come
No,
on.
I'm upset about rough day at
Listen,
work.
no, bring
And
home
yet still
dinner.
they
Try
want
it.
to
Bring home dinner.
manipulate.
Try it and
You know,
see
we're
what
gonna
happens.
sit on the back.
And yet still they still
patio
want to
because
manipulate.
We're gonna eat together
what is
and
it?
we're gonna talk.
Exactly.
And you start to tell her
Valentine's Day
about
for
your
themselves.
day. And
The
I think-
producer
I
says
think-
it's time to
You see
wrap
how
it up.
unfair
guys.
that is, though, right?
I think you guys need to, like, get your brain checked. Something wrong with
Here's,
that.
that's the part I don't get. It's
Yeah,
like
something wrong with
you
that
want
one.
us to, you want men to pamper you every day, even when they're
Having a bad
frustrated,
day.
Having a bad day at work.
and yet still when Valentine's Day, the day where you share as a couple, you want to manipulate that for yourself.
Self.
too?
No.
What kind of wickedness that?
No, but we're gonna take care of you on your
No,
birthday.
Here's the thing.
Christmas, right?
Carnality is a plus. It is not the whole embodiment of
I
relationship.
don't think it's
So
a
yet
plus.
still.
Oh, yeah, it is a plus,
Listen.
right.
So that's what the guy was saying. So
Yeah.
what I'm trying to say is that for a relationship
Stimulate
to
my
fully
mind.
work,
Let me
stimulate
come home.
my-
Let me feel good.
So it's like, yes, you talk about the situation on the phone. That's one way. But when it come in, sometimes
And you know the sad thing about it, when a woman call you say that a rough day at work or whatever, you be the one there sitting there running hot water and all that for them when they reach them, so they go there. But when you come on, anyways, it's been real. It's just a conversation where we say hashtag talk about it. The last part of this whole conversation don't make no sense to me. I'm gonna have a rough day, but I'm gonna go home. But anyways, don't forget to go over to our YouTube channel, Just a Conversation. Subscribe. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Ding, 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 ding. We load up videos every week. It's been real. Minister Hayden, Brother Matthew.
And before we go, I just want to those who are interested, you could come by this Sunday. We're having a little competition, food competition. Anybody want to come through, try our dishes and so forth? You can.
Give them the address.
Oh,
The address?
We do that.
6150 West Oakland Park Road.
All right.
Okay.
And we're also wear your African attire.
It's
if you have
African
one.
Attire Month, and we're wearing it this week. And we're
Yes.
gonna have, like he said, a cook-off.
Wear your
You know,
dashiki outfit.
Rick, come on, come.
If you
It'll be
have
curry
one.
fish.
150 West Oakland Park Boulevard. Service starts at 11 a.m.
And it's also
Sunday
our
school is at
pastor's
10
birthday.
a.m.
Happy
It's
birthday,
Apostle's
Apostle!
We'll be
We'll be
celebrating the man of
celebrating
God.
food
know,
and
we're
fun.
First
have it all.
come for are the ones who get it
That's how
first. So it's like
When it done, it
you
done.
work, you
Yeah,
done,
I
you
gotta
done.
work.
When it done,
But
it done.
it's been real. Don't forget, Tune in next Tuesday for another Just a Conversation. And please, if you don't have a church home, come check us out. 6150 West Oakland Park Boulevard. Sunday school at 10 a.m. Service starts at 11 a.m. And also,
Night
if you want to
service.
come through in the night, we have night service every Sunday night at 7:30 p.m.
Promises to be good.
Promises to be great, awesome, and
Wonderful.
all that. But it's been real. Minister Hayden, Brother Matthew, big ups to Deacon Sibless, Evangelist Hayden for sitting in this third week. She's killing it. Minister McLaughlin for sharing the stage. And
She was
also,
so vocal today.
wow, yes, she was.
Ooh,
And
you
also,
are today.
Evangelist Reader.
It's
this is her
Valentine's.
second week.
God.
She's loving
It's-
it. Everyone's feeling it. I hope you guys are feeling it too. So until next week, Tuesday's been real. Don't forget to share. Don't forget to like. Stop by the YouTube page. Just a Conversation. God
Good night,
bless you.
Instagram
We
page.
say hashtag
Talk about it. Yay.